26 years ago today, the 31st of October 1997, a little boy is born to the world in the UK. And just a few years as a young boy, he attracts the attention of the biggest football club in the world. Marcus Rashford would later on become the highest paid player at this club just after becoming the best player at the club, having scored 30 goals for United in a single season as we finished third. Well, today, the story about Rashford is one of a boy no longer wanted by fans, as if. But anyhow, what do you think about this birthday boy? Let me know. Marcus Rashford, arguably the most unloved, I don't want to use the word hated, player right now, or unappreciated Manchester United player. If the last game is anything to go by, that derby, well, he was our worst performer, without a doubt. Now, I do understand, by the way, why so many people are up in arms about Rashford, being seen in a nightclub after us losing in a derby at Old Trafford 3-0. We are sending off Sir Bobby Charlton. I was here dropping a video of how he would destroy Manchester City, and I'm here talking about him, trying to defend him, by the way, and you will see why I'm saying so. But the reality is, I understand why people are frustrated about, of course, the talk of him being in a nightclub, Manchester, with his family and all. But on the other side, I feel like this is misguided anger. I think the boy has got every right to celebrate his birthday. We've got a game or tomorrow on Wednesday. Certainly, he couldn't go out tonight. But after that derby loss, probably it was planned earlier to go with his family in the VIP area, and apparently he could have left early and was part of training at Carrington. So for me, I don't see why people are then now trying to say Eric Ten Hag is going to go hard on him. I would be shocked if Ten Hag, by the way, failed to manage this one, because I don't think there's an issue at all. But it's just people expressing their frustration about the player and knowing he was in a club. And we know back then with Sir Alex Ferguson, the mentality our players had, the Ferdinands, they would even win games, and you've won the Champions League today, but over the weekend you've got a Premier League game against Emino, but players won't go to club to celebrate. So that was the mentality that these players had. But today, man, I mean, but also this is the boy's birthday. He's turning 26, by the way. 26. I was 26 so many years ago, more than 5, 6 years ago. So 26 is when you become a man. At 25, you're still a boy. But that when you make that turn to 26, that's when you become a man. And every decision you make is judged as a man. You're judged as a man. So he has got every right to celebrate that. But again, I was seated there thinking that Rashford, our best player from last season, and our biggest hope from last season, turning out to be this bad 10 games into the season in the Premier League, scoring only one goal. You're thinking it cannot be a coincidence that this boy has lost it just like that. Why has he lost his confidence? Why has he lost the performances he gave us? At least, even if players, and we know by the guys, even the best players of all time, and Rashford is nowhere close to any of the best players of all time. Even those, even the Zidanes of this world, the Ronaldinhos, the Messis, the Cristianos, name them, had bad spells. So it's normal in football for the best players to have bad spells. But the Rashford spell, for me, seems to be facilitated by a manager who doesn't seem to know the clear direction he wants Rashford to take as a player. What does he want? What does he expect of Rashford? I'm sure if you met Rashford today and asked him what is the expectation of you from the manager, he would either be confused or he would tell you to score goals, because this is what we've seen in the press conferences. Eric Ten Hag has been asked questions about Marcus Rashford. He's telling us how he knows he can go back to scoring goals. They keep putting him there even when he's having the worst games, because they want to build his confidence, which is okay. But his confidence in doing what? People, with the fans, are saying Rashford is selfish, he's not assisting Rasmus Højlund. Ten Hag is going out in the press and saying he will find his goal scoring boots again. We know his quality, we know what he can do. I think he will pick up his form and score goals again. And I'm thinking, so Eric Ten Hag still expects Marcus Rashford to be scoring goals for us when he bought Rasmus Højlund for 72 million quid. I don't get it, because Højlund has not failed. Højlund makes every right move for a striker. I've not seen him make a single wrong move. I will say that in every video I make until I say a wrong move from Højlund. Højlund, the only wrong move he has made so far is the penalty he cost us. That's the only wrong move he's made. But in the right area, in the right box, and that wrong move he made in the wrong box. But inside the wrong box, inside the wrong third, he does not make a single wrong move. What Eric Ten Hag should be telling Marcus Rashford is to now learn to adjust his game and know he's no longer the target man, because last season he was the man we are looking at to score goals. Eric Ten Hag tried him as a false nine, the number nine position. In fact, at some point Ten Hag was saying he can actually become a very good number nine. I know, Rooney spoke about him and how he advised him to be more patient. If you're number nine, you've got to be patient. And you know well, but that was before. That was because we had not got Rasmus Hoyland. We've got Rasmus Hoyland, who is just right players away from becoming world class. Rasmus Hoyland makes world class moves. The only reason he's not world class is because the players sandwiching him and not assisting him and not picking him up. Bruno is not picking him up. Players around him do not pick him up. They don't see his runs. He makes the right runs and they are selfishly, going for goal. And we say selfish because we think this player should be assisting him, but probably Eric Ten Hag tells Marcus Rashford to go for goal, tells Antonio Dos Santos to go for goal. That's why both wingers keep cutting in and trying to go for goal. And you're thinking, this boy is making the right runs. Who will pick him up? All the times we've seen Marcus Rashford look up and pick up Rasmus Hoyland, it's been a goal. One was cancelled, I think, in the Premier League. Two goals in the Champions League. The two assists he's got. So, for me, I think whereas the birthday boy is not delivering, and of course he has got to put in the hard yards, he has got to step up his game. I also think his poor performance is partly facilitated by the manager. I think the press conferences Eric Ten Hag has given us about Rashford have shown us that his expectation of him is to score goals. So to him, he's almost scoring goals because he's always refusing to pass the ball to Hoyland and going for goal. So what's that? And you can't be shocked if that is so, knowing the boss we are dealing with. This guy who will drop Rafael Varane and start Victor Lindelof for the first time on the left against Manchester City and come out in a press conference and try to defend this in the most, I mean, confusing manner, and for lack of a better word. How Man City plays, how you need players who can come inside, what, and you're thinking, come on, this is not the game to try out. Sergio Reguilon has been our best player ever since he joined. The games he's played, he has consistently been one of our better performers. You don't bench him; he's a natural left back. He's fit. You're playing Man City, and you're saying you're starting Rafael Varane on the bench when he's fully fit, and starting Maguire, and together with Johnny Evans, then Lindelof on the left. Eric, come on, you joke too much. So maybe the reason some of these players are not performing are because the manager is actually confusing them or failing to make the best use of them or failing to put the pieces together, because you can have all the good pieces, but if you fail to put them together and make the right moves with them, they will fail. You will look like you have the worst pieces. If those who play chess, if you can have your queen, you have your two knights, you have a bishop and maybe a rook, and your opponent has got maybe just a queen and two knights. You have the better pieces, but if you do not make good use of those pieces, you can be beaten badly. For me, I'm beginning to believe that one of the reasons we're struggling is because we've got the right pieces and now players are back fit, but they are being misused by the manager, either being given wrong instructions and wrong expectations, wrong KPIs, if there's anything like that in football. But the reality is, it cannot be a mistake or a coincidence that Marcus, it cannot be entirely up to Marcus Rashford that he is always there playing games, but he's not doing anything right. He's not assisting like he should. He's not effective as he should. After being our best player from last season, guys, I think it's high time we look deeper and closely with a microscope into the tactics of Ten Hag before we go on blaming players for celebrating their birthdays in a nightclub. So for me, that's what I think. But that said, whereas I'm here defending Rashford and his right to celebrate his 26th birthday, happy birthday by the way, happy birthday, dear Rashford. Let me sing the other. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rashford. Happy birthday, dear Marcus. but stop rushing and making the wrong decisions. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I still think though that even when I'm defending him, I think he should have been benched for a couple of games, long time ago. But I also think he shouldn't be starting the game against Newcastle. This Carabao Cup game we are playing, I think Eric Ten Hag has got the best opportunity to calm his pressure, trust the young players, even if they beat us. Newcastle beating us at Old Trafford now with young players who are exciting. Garnacho, Pelistri, I pray Ahmad Diallo also surprising returns. Kobe Maino. I don't think anyone will leave Old Trafford attacking Ten Hag and abusing him for trying out young players in a Carabao Cup game, fourth round game against a team we beat in the final. So I think this is the opportunity he has got to do things right and maybe restore some bit of faith, lost faith and hope in him. Because trust you me, many people have lost faith in him. Why? Because of his indecision, the lack of ruthlessness on the pitch. Ruthlessness on the pitch doesn't mean banishing Jadon Sancho from Carrington. No, it means benching your captain Bruno Fernandes if he's not performing, benching Marcus Rashford, your most highly paid player, if he's not performing, and putting there a hungry Alejandro Garnacho. That is ruthlessness. So stop telling me about Eric Ten Hag being ruthless. I've not seen it. He has got to prove to me. So start tomorrow. And this should be an easy one, but okay, it's a first test. Start tomorrow by benching Marcus Rashford, benching Bruno Fernandes. Actually, they don't even need to be in the squad. And put in these young players whom you don't want to trust in the Premier League. Let them show you what they can do in the Carabao Cup. They will enjoy themselves, trust me. So that's what I expect to see from Eric Ten Hag. For me, that is what I would call a reaction and a response to what we saw, the lack of heart, the lack of soul, the lack of desire from Rashford and co. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. I'll catch you later.